Welcome to Hello English Teacher. Today let's look at the line-by-line explanation of the chapter Journey to the End of the World from class 12. Journey to the End of the World is written by Tishani Doshi, who is a dancer, a poet, and a writer based in Chennai. She says that if you want to know more about the planet's past, present, and future, Antarctica is the best place to go. And she says, Bon voyage. Bon voyage means happy journey. So let's look at the line by line explanation. Early this year, I found myself aboard a Russian research vessel, the academic Shokalsky. So Tishani says that she had the opportunity to board a Russian research vessel. Vessel means a ship. So a ship that was doing research, and she was heading towards the coldest, driest and windiest continent in the world, Antarctica. And where was the research vessel going to? It was going to Antarctica. And what has she said about Antarctica? She is saying that it is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent compared to other continents in the world. My journey began 13.09 degrees north of equator in Madras. And she's also saying from where she started her journey. She started her journey from Madras, and Madras is located at 13.09 degrees north of the equator. What is the equator? Equator is nothing but an imaginary line that divides the globe into north and south hemispheres. And she says that she was crossing 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 water bodies, and as many ecospheres also. So, in order to reach Antarctica, she had to cross many time zones. What is a time zone? A time zone is a time followed by a particular region. And 6 checkpoints. What is a checkpoint? It's nothing but any particular place which is identified by many people and can be marked as a place that is known to all. So they can say that, okay, we have reached this point or we have crossed this point. So it's called a checkpoint. 3 bodies of water means different oceans she had to cross, and then at least as many ecosphere. So what is an ecosphere? Ecosphere is any part of the planet where life can be supported. So all these things she had to cross in order to reach Antarctica. By the time I actually set foot on the Antarctica continent, I had been traveling over 100 hours in combination of a car, an aeroplane, and a ship. So she says that in order to reach Antarctica, she had to travel 100 hours. And what are the means of transport she used? She used a car, an aeroplane, and a ship. So my first emotion on facing Antarctica's expansive white landscape and uninterrupted blue horizon was relief. So she says this the moment she set her foot on Antarctica, her first emotion was relief because she saw the expansive white landscape. That means the huge white landscape. The whole place was white in color because of the snow, and the uninterrupted blue horizon. Uninterrupted means there was no disturbance at all because the blue horizon was very clear, the line was very clear. What is the horizon? Horizon is nothing but the imaginary place where we feel that the earth and the sky is joining. The line is called the horizon. So she could see that in an uninterrupted manner, and the moment she saw that, she felt a great relief, followed up with an immediate and profound wonder. And after the relief, she started wondering at its immensity, like how huge the place was. And profound means very deep. She has this great, deep wonder thinking about the hugeness of the place, its isolation, but mainly at how there could have ever been a time when India and Antarctica were part of the same landmass. So she was not only wondering at its immensity, but also wondering at its isolation. Isolation means how separate it was. And she also was wondering about how there could have been a time when India and Antarctica were the part of the same continent. That means there was a time when all the continents were one. That too, India was also a part of that continent where Antarctica was also a part. So next is part of history. So she is giving us some history about historical facts about Antarctica. 650 million years ago, a giant amalgamated southern supercontinent called Gondwana did indeed exist. So she's saying that about 650 million years ago, there was a huge continent or the supercontinent called Gondwana. Amalgamated means all joined together. All the other continents were all together and it was like a supercontinent and it was named Gondwana. Did indeed exist. That means it was there. The supercontinent was there in the past, centered roughly around the present day Antarctica. And its location was where now Antarctica is situated. Things were quite different then. Humans hadn't arrived on the global scene and the climate was much warmer. So, what is she saying? She's saying that everything was quite different at that point of time when all the continents were joined together. Humans hadn't arrived. That time there were no human beings, and also the climate was much warmer. It was not cold as it is now, it was actually warm, hosting a huge variety of flora and fauna. And during that time, there was large number of flora means different kinds of plants and flowers, and fauna means animals and insects and birds and all that. So all these thrived some 650 million years ago. For 500 million years, Gondwana thrived, but around the time when the dinosaurs were wiped out, the age of the mammals got underway. The landmass was forced to separate into countries, shaping the globe much as we know it today. So, for 500 million years, Gondwana existed, and after that came the dinosaurs. When the dinosaurs were wiped out, came the mammals. Mammals means what? Animals which feed their young ones with milk. That means the females of the animals who feed their children with milk are called mammals. So the mammals came, and during that time, it is at that time that Gondwana, that what we know, the supercontinent, was forced to separate into different continents because of the movements of the earth and other things, shaping the globe as much as we know it today. So it was during that time that all the continents got shaped into what we know are existing today. To visit Antarctica is to be a part of that history, to get a grasp of where we have come from and where we could possibly be heading. So, Tishani says that if we go to Antarctica, we can know our past. That means we can be a part of the history. We can know how the globe evolved, and we can also get a grasp of where we have come from and where we could possibly be heading. That means what lies for our future, what is there in the future. All these can be known if we go to Antarctica. It is to understand the significance of the Cordilleran folds and the Precambrian granite shields, ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction. Cordilleran folds are nothing but the geographical structures formed by folding of rocks. Precambrian granite shields are large stable areas of the Earth's crust composed of ancient and crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks usually made of granite. So you will also come to know about the ozone and the carbon and also about the evolution and extinction of various structures once you come to Antarctica. When you think about all that can happen in a million years, it can get pretty mind boggling. So, when you come to Antarctica and understand that these are the changes that can happen in a million years, it gets pretty mind boggling. Means it's going to startle you, it's going to overwhelm you because so many changes have taken place. Like how it was a supercontinent and how all got divided into different continents as how it is now. So imagine India pushing northwards, jamming against Asia to buckle its crust and form Himalayas. So the narrator is telling us to imagine how India might be pushing upwards against Asia and then how it formed the Himalayas, and South America drifting off to North America. So South America moving towards North America and opening up the Drake Passage to create a cold circumpolar current. Circumpolar current is nothing but an ocean current, means ocean flowing in a circular way, keeping Antarctica frigid, desolate, and at the bottom of the world. So, because of all these kinds of movements, Antarctica was pushed towards the bottom of the world and it became frigid, means very cold, desolate means lonely, and towards the bottom of the world. For a sun worshipping South Indian like myself, 2 weeks in a place where 90% of the Earth's total ice volumes are stored is a chilling prospect. That means for a sun worshipping person like myself means she's a South Indian who lives in Chennai, who gets to see the sun every day and who also worships the sun. So for a person like her to come to a place like Antarctica where 90% of the land is covered by ice and where the ice volumes are also stored, she says, is a chilling prospect. Chilling prospect means something like a warning signal, which is not just for the circulatory and metabolic functions but also for the imagination. So she says that it's very difficult for all her body functions as well as her mind to function in such conditions where the place is fully surrounded with only with ice. So it's like walking into a giant ping pong ball devoid of any human markers. So what she's saying, stepping onto Africa is like going into a giant ping pong ball. What's a ping pong ball? It's a table tennis ball which is white in color. So she feels that stepping on Antarctica is like stepping into a huge giant means a huge ball, white color ball, which is devoid of any human markers. Devoid means does not have any human marker means all man-made structures are called human markers. Like there are no trees, no billboards. Billboards means all those big advertisements that we see, and there are no buildings as well. All these things are not there. What you see is only ice all around. You lose all earthly sense of perspective and time here. So once you reach this place, you will not have any touch with the earth as we see in our place. That means we will not see any people, we will not see any human markers, we will not even know what time of the day it is. So the visual scale ranges from the microscopic to the mighty, midges and mites to blue whales and icebergs as big as countries. So when you reach Antarctica, the visual scale, the things that you can see are from microscopic to mighty. That means you can see very tiny objects as well as huge ones. The tiny ones are nothing but the midges and mites, which are small insects, and the mighty ones are the blue whales and the icebergs. You know, blue whales. Whales are the biggest mammals on the earth, and icebergs are nothing but huge ice sheets. So the biggest was as big as a country like Belgium, the size of Belgium. So the biggest iceberg till now recorded on Antarctica was the size of the country Belgium. Days go on and on and on in surreal 24-hour astral summer light. So the days go on, especially during summer. You feel as if you are an imaginary world. Surreal means like an imaginary world, and it's always 24-hour summer light is there. That means the summer never ends. You cannot see darkness during the summertime. The whole day you will be only seeing lights. And also there is ubiquitous silence means ubiquitous means found everywhere. Wherever you turn, you can only see silence, interrupted only by the occasional avalanche. So only at times you can hear the sound of an avalanche. What is avalanche? Huge ice sheets carving and slipping down. That time some sound is heard. That's called avalanche. And that's the only sound which you can hear occasionally. Or carving ice sheet consecrates the place. So all these silence and these only noise consecrates the place means makes the place look as if it's a very holy place in an immersion that will force you to place yourself in the context of the Earth's geological history. So once you reach here and once you come to know about all these, you will understand that you are also a part of the Earth's geological history. And for humans, the prognosis isn't good. And the narrator says that the prognosis means the forecast for humans is not good. So this is what you will understand when you reach Antarctica. Human impact. So, what is the impact of human beings on the earth? So, human civilizations have been around for a paltry of 12,000 years. So, humans have been on this world only for about 12,000 years. Paltry means meager, a very small amount, barely a few seconds on the geological clock. So when you look at the geological clock, if we can take it as 500, 600 or 650 million years, in that you can imagine how small this 12,000 years is. So that's why we say that humans have been only for a few seconds on the geological clock. In that short amount of time, we have managed to create quite a ruckus. We means the human beings have created quite a ruckus, means a commotion or a chaos, etching our dominance over nature. So by the time human beings came on the planet, they created or they tried to dominate the nature. How? With our villages, towns, cities, and megacities. So we interrupted the nature and we tried to build our own villages, towns, cities, and megacities for our own existence, in a way showing that we are greater than nature and also causing a lot of damage to the nature. The rapid increase of human populations has left us battling with other species for limited resources. That means since the population is increasing just like that, we are fighting with other species for the limited resources on earth. There are so many resources on the earth like air, water, food, and whatnot. So, for all these resources, we have to fight with the other species because the population is increasing uncontrollably. And the unmitigated burning of fossil fuels. Unmitigated burning of fossil fuels means the uncontrolled burning of fuels has now created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world. Since we keep on burning things, because of this, a layer of carbon dioxide has formed around the world, which is slowly but surely increasing the average global temperature. So, because of the increase of carbon dioxide, the global temperature is also rising. Climate change is one of the most hotly contested environmental debates of our time. So we all know that nowadays everyone talks about climate change. This climate change is because of the rise in the global temperature and because of the increase of this carbon dioxide around the world. Will the West Antarctic ice sheet melt entirely? So the question is whether all the Antarctic ice sheets will melt completely. Will the Gulf Stream ocean current be disrupted? So will the ocean current from the Gulf Stream be disrupted, means will it be destroyed or will it be damaged in any way? Will it be the end of the world as we may know it? So is all these going to cause the end of the world? So maybe or maybe not. So this is a very hot topic in the debate because Antarctica is a very important place because it will tell us all the details about what is going to happen to the planet in the future, because it's a place where no human population has lived now and therefore it is very pristine, means it is very fresh and new because of the lack of population. And not only that, it also holds in its ice cores half-million-year-old carbon records trapped in its layers of ice. So if you look at the layers of the ice there in Antarctica, it has all the carbon records trapped. So once you look at these carbon records, you will be able to know the kind of damages that can happen to the world. If we want to study and examine the Earth's past, present, and future, Antarctica is the place to go. So, because of all these things exist here in Antarctica, you can easily understand about the past, present, and future of the planet. So Antarctica is a place which will tell you about the present, past and future of the planet Earth. So let's look at the second part of this chapter in the next video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. For more interesting and informative videos, subscribe to Hello English Teacher. Thank you for watching.